Hi guys, my name is Derrick Final. I'm the founder of Platinum Africa Solutions Limited. We are a business consulting firm that is focused on helping organizations to enter different markets in Africa. We help them to strategize, organize, and globalize in Africa. And I'm currently based in Germany, where I study and work as well. So this is going to be like the third time or fourth time, I think, third time I'm speaking at the Young Achievers Summit since it started in 2016, if I'm right. And year in, year out, I'm a part of this event to share my experience, my knowledge, and the inspiration behind my work. And most importantly, our work at Platinum Africa Solutions Limited. And I'm glad that I've been a part of shaping a lot of entrepreneurs in Ghana and different parts of the world who follow the event. And I want to say kudos to the organizers, Park and the team, for putting together this amazing event. And on this theme, which is the tales of an entrepreneur, I mean, it's very relatable to me because the journey of entrepreneurship, especially the one that is brewed in Africa, is not as smooth as people think it is, especially considering the fact that a lot of people are projecting entrepreneurship and running a business to be very glamorous and like the new-ish on social media. But the realities are different. And I'm glad that this theme has been selected to let everyone present at today's event understand that running a business or entering into entrepreneurship, it's a whole new vibe. It's a whole new deal. It's a big deal actually, because we are a part of the entire ecosystem that is geared towards making the economy better, especially for those of us from Africa. Right now, the continent is the next place to look at after China, and the world is going to look at Africa. The world is already looking at Africa. Even the world is looking at China presently, but China is also looking at Africa. So the opportunities that are rising up in our continent is massive, and it's important that we position ourselves better as young people, especially for these opportunities to solve the problems that exist in our various countries and within our continent, so that the economy gets better and lives get better as well. For me, my journey started in 2015 when I lost my bank job. Yes, it was a dark moment of my life. I loved my bank job so much. I had got into a bank job right after a diploma. That was, I think, in 2013, I got my first bank job. And then after a year, I moved to a different bank. And something happened. I got unfairly fired. But looking back from now, I think they did me a great favor by firing me, because apparently I was more than just a cubicle. I was more than just debiting and crediting people's accounts. I was more. I didn't realize it at the time, but life happened. And I sometimes say that entrepreneurship was my calling and it called me at the time. And I went into starting my own small practice as a consultant. As at that time, I was really young. I mean, younger than now. But that was one of the struggles I had. People thinking that I'm incompetent because I was young. And the very typical African environment. They think every young person is meant to only pull their shorts down and for the girls put their skirts up and just have fun. But no, things have changed. And some people are very oblivious to that fact. And it was a struggle for me in the beginning because I had to convince people that I was capable. So when I started my business, I started with nothing but my best friend's laptop, because I didn't have any investment. I was not ready to start a business. It just happened that I was ready to. I was not really financially ready. I didn't have the network. I built my company from scratch with nothing but a big dream and a vision, and most importantly, I had a mission. I had a mission I embarked on to be a part of the revolution, and that is happening in Africa when it comes to businesses and entrepreneurship, to be a part of creating the solutions that most businesses will thrive on in the next coming years. And so that was how my journey started as an entrepreneur. And obviously, I recently got featured on a platform, and they took a quote from something I said in an interview. I said I was the most important person I had to convince that this was going to work. And for me, always, in every venture I've started or in everything I've had to do, whether publishing my first book and doing everything I had to do, I've always been my first investor. I've always been my first customer. I've always been my first competitor. Because if I'm not able to convince myself enough that this is going to work, then I cannot convince anyone else. And most often, that is the point where most people get to in entrepreneurship or trying to become more. People tell you, "Oh, you are not ready for this," or "I'm like that." People have a way of letting you know all that they think and making you believe that what they think is right for you. People sometimes make you think that they want better for you than you would want for yourself. But the truth is that for me, I've always listened to my instincts, that if I feel right about it and if I'm convinced. So sometimes most of the things I've had to do had taken some time because I was in a process of convincing myself that this was worth it and was going to work. So then, I started from there. I remember sometimes I just took my bag, I booked the ticket to Tamale, sat in a bus for like 13 hours. I didn't know anyone in Tamale. I didn't know what was going to happen there. I was just going to look for prospects. And I sat in a bus 13 hours and we went to Tamale. Immediately I got to Tamale, I dropped my bag in a guest house. I went into the town, got a motorcycle, sat behind it and just pitched into any company I see, like any office that I come across on the way. I went to pitch to them that, hey, this is what we do, this is what we do, this is what we do. And some of them responded, some didn't. I've taken a lot of bold steps. For example, somewhere last year, I just decided to enter the Kenyan market. So I just booked the ticket, paid for an accommodation and flew to Kenya without knowing anybody. And the next thing I saw, I was on Kenya's national television talking about what I do. What am I driving at? We are in an era where every consumer, every customer, everybody wants more. You understand? Recently, I'm writing my new book, which will be released possibly next year. It's about highlighting the opportunities in Africa and how people could build strong organizations from scratch. You understand? As per my experience and then my expertise. So for me, it's about going beyond the normal. And if you are trying to go beyond the normal, if you're trying to do more and get out of the comfort zone, a lot of people, especially those who care about you, would have a lot of things to say. They would want to give you an advice they think would work best for you. But the truth is that nobody can ever want the best for you more than you'd want for yourself. And if you are able to understand that fact and come to terms with the fact that this is life happening for you, whether or not you are running a business, whether or not you are writing a book, whether or not you are starting a project, this is it. There's no part two. We are in an era where a lot of things are happening, a lot of innovations are happening. And I'm very passionate about what's happening in Africa because, like I said, it's the next place the world is looking at. You understand? And it's important that our young people, our entrepreneurs get to understand the fact that the opportunities that are existing in Africa must be tapped into, especially by us, because we understand the problems that we need to solve. We understand what it feels like to be in the problems that we are experiencing. And for us, being true entrepreneurs is about finding true solutions to the problems that we actually relate to, the problems that exist. A lot of them are there. And if you open your eyes wide and if you open your mind wide, you get to understand that every problem poses a business opportunity for you. I'll take a typical example. When God made the earth, I said this in my first book. When God made the earth, he could have just created the airplanes and the skyscrapers and the buildings and the lights. But God made man, and God charged man to continue creation. Therefore, entrepreneurship is not just a choice. And for me, it's well, on the other side, it's a choice for you. But then, for me, it's a higher sense of calling that we are supposed to continue creation. There are a lot of things that must come into being for life to be better. And that's why I think that entrepreneurship actually started even in the days of Christ. In the olden days when God is a model entrepreneur, actually, for those of us who believe in him. Because there's a man that made he made the world in 6 days and then rested on the 7th day and created man, duplicated himself in man and asked man to continue creation. And what he has done is he's crossed the ripple effect. Now he has over 7.2 billion people working for him. All of us are his workers. You understand? So that is a model you could also harness on as an entrepreneur. How you can duplicate yourself talk of yourself. I'm talking about the vision. Because right now for me, for example, I live in Germany, but my company still runs and serves clients in Africa. And I'm not there physically, but the vision has been transcended into people that are running also along with the vision and who are also instilling into others the vision that we've had to become the most reliable business consulting firm in Africa. You understand me? So what am I driving at again? It's about time that our young people, especially our entrepreneurs in Africa, get to understand that there's a charge, there is a revolution happening, and it's about time we don't take this thing for granted. It's about time we get true entrepreneurs. We are tired of the entrepreneurs who are not actually solving the problems, but actually just doing a social media sort of entrepreneurship. Your life has a charge on it as an entrepreneur to solve problems and to find the solutions and to make better the solutions that you have for people so that lives can become better. On the other hand, I will also harness on one thing about our work ethics as entrepreneurs from Africa. You can be a great entrepreneur. Your ideas may be the ideas that will change the world and shake the world. You understand? You can be the best strategist in your team, or you can have the best strategy that would shake the world and tear the world apart. But if your work ethics suck, you suck. If there's one thing I've learned in this journey of entrepreneurship, is how you work speaks more of you than just the idea that you're putting on the table. Because people are coming to you not because of just what you have, but how you deliver what you have. And that speaks a lot more, and that is what people will remember of you. Not just the idea that this guy had a great idea, but they remember that this guy had a great way of working. And if our work ethics suck as entrepreneurs, then we suck. And if there's one thing I've also learned in this journey of entrepreneurship, is that be good with people. People make everything happen. People are, if you can't be good with people, you cannot make anything good for people. Your business is in to serve people. Your business is in to work with people. No matter what, there are people involved. No matter how much artificial intelligence intrudes the market, people will always remain people. And that natural feeling, that natural need of people wanting to be accepted, to be loved, and to be served will always be existence. Therefore, be good with people. Also, be good with your figures. Know what's going out and what's coming in. Know what your projections look like when it comes to your financials, because in the end, this is a business. Whether it's a project or a business, you are going to be putting in some money, and you should expect some returns in the end. Therefore, be good with figures, and also be good with strategies. Have ways and means of getting things done. That is different from your work ethics, but your strategy is basically how you're going to get a certain goal achieved, or how you intend to achieve a certain goal. And if you don't have that strategy, then you become you are just journeying just as the time comes along. You understand? These are things that you should check as an entrepreneur. These are some of the things I've learned in my journey of entrepreneurship. I've faced a lot of down times. I mean, there are times I've cried. I've just like everyone else. I've doubted. I've been belittled. I've broken down. I've torn apart in different ways that people don't even imagine. Because entrepreneurship will most often sometimes leave you lonely. It will leave you alone in the entire thought. It will leave you alone in the journey. It will leave you alone in the entire battle of fighting for something. But what has helped me get to this level, or what has helped me to keep fighting for what I'm looking for, is the fact that nothing lasts forever. Not even the pain. And in the end, I believe the glory in the end is more than this present suffering. Because if I do something about my situation, things are going to change. If I don't do anything about it, things are not going to change. Then I'd rather do something about it. That's why each time I face a challenge, I try to do something about it. I do something about it, because if I think about it, it wouldn't change anything. But if I do something about it, it will change something, and it will improve something. And I'm not scared to take the bold steps, because it's one life. I would want to live it living to my full potential. I don't want to live it doing everything I am and can be. I don't want to live it touching the many lives as possible as I can. And I wouldn't want to one day sit on heaven's lonely bench and look back with regrets, and then maybe God will show me that if I had done this, it would have brought this result. If I had done this, no. I want to do everything right here and to make any change that I can to this world before I leave. And so these are some of the inspirations behind my journey as an entrepreneur. And I can tell you for a fact that right now, looking back, I have no regrets. I thank the bank for firing me. I thank the people who said no to me. I thank the people who rejected me. I thank the people who doubted me, because I had to now believe in myself. Because if I couldn't believe in myself, then I obviously couldn't have let other people believe in me. And one last thing I would also add to my entire experiences: sometimes learn to give time. It takes time for people to get to know you. It takes time for people to get to buy into what you sell or to buy into what you have. The fact that people are not responding doesn't mean it's bad. It means sometimes, just like every relationship, people need time to get used to you. People need time to know you. And sometimes we are so much in a rush. We want to make a lot of money in a hurry. We want to get known in a hurry. Entrepreneurship is not about getting famous and getting known. It's about getting to work and then solving the problems and finding better solutions to the problems that you've identified. And for me, these are the things that I would share with you. And don't forget, like I said, give time. And in the end, we will all get to where we are heading to. I wish you all the best, and you can check out my company on www.paslglobal.com. Like I said, we are a company that is passionate about helping businesses to strategize, organize, and globalize in Africa to become more profitable, sustainable, and we consult for projects as well. We do business plans, we do business consulting, we find strategies for companies, we do market research, recruitment. We also do organizational performance audits, where we help companies to know whether they are doing well or not, what's happening in the competition, how they can position better for the various markets that they are looking for or they are looking at. So yes, just get in touch. On Instagram is Derrick Final, on Facebook as well. My Facebook fan page is Derrick Final. And yeah, let's get in touch. I wish you all the best. And I wish that above all things, that you never give up on your journey of finding yourself and finding better things to do, and then finding better solutions to the problems you've identified as an entrepreneur. I wish above all things that in the end, always in your favor. Thank you very much. And my name has been Derrick. Take care.